Hello everyone, welcome to GametechUK and this video which is a chat about the current state of Alaskan Road Truckers. So let's get on with today's video. So if you've been following the channel, you will know I was lucky enough to be involved in the Alaskan Road Truckers playtest. I will put a video top right of your screen. That's the full entire stream yesterday, but it is the latest playtest version. So in this video, I'm just going to go through some of the negatives, some of the positives, some of the negatives and positives brought up by the community, give you my thoughts and opinions on where the game is currently, given that it's only 15 days from release, and what I think about it from a console perspective. Let's start with the positives. What do I like about the game? Well, first and foremost, and most importantly, I like the concept. I like the location. I like the idea that you've got to look after the truck. Now, you're not an on-site engineer, so you're not going to be dismantling the engine, but you are going to be looking after fluid levels and fuses. I love the fact you can get out of the truck. That is a massive plus to me. In yesterday's stream, we just stopped by the side of the road and went exploring. Hopefully in the future there is a reason to do that exploring as well. Although in yesterday's stream we did find a point of interest that gave us information about that location, which again I really liked. Fill the world with stuff like this and that will be an absolute dream. I love the fact that you can get out and go and talk to the NPCs. Okay, there's not a lot of other people in the world, but to get the NPCs, and you can see them highlighted in white on the map so you know exactly where you're going, but to be able to go and actually speak to them, and the developer was in the stream yesterday and he did say that they've got plans for extra dialogue, but for now you just go up, you get your job and you get back in your truck and go and carry on with your day. But there's lots of positives with this game. Graphics. Now, graphics are going to be included both in this section, which is the positives, and the negatives as well. But if we talk about the positives of the graphics, I do like the location. I love the look of the trees. Okay, the mountains in the distance, especially the full snow-capped mountains, they've got a bit of a cartoony style, but in a funny kind of way. It looks all right. The mountains that aren't fully covered in snow do look a lot more placed within the environment. But overall, I mean, the roads look nice. There's loads of detail, black bags, rubbish, tires everywhere. They've put the detail in. The roads look good. Overall, I mean, the trucks aren't my favorite thing. I'd like a little bit more detail on the interior, but I think overall it's a very, very nice looking game up to today's standards, but we will talk about some negatives in that section. But overall, graphically, it's a really pretty game. One of my favourite aspects of the game is the levels of immersion that the extras that are put into this game enables you to feel. Actually getting your load and putting the trailer legs down, pulling the electrical cables and putting them in yourself, hauling yourself up into the truck, actually opening the hood. All this stuff is pretty brave, really, because all the other console gamers have gone for this sort of like, oh, let's make a magical story. But it seems that Alaskan Road Truckers have just gone for pure immersion, stuff that isn't even available in the industry standard, which is American Truck and Euro Truck. I like the fact that they haven't just tried to make a copy of American Truck and Euro Truck. This has got its own immersive details that I think for the concept that they're putting forward and the location work absolutely perfectly. Another positive for me, which may sound a little strange, is that I really like the team. Everything from the publishing team at Green Man. I mean, I spoke to Florian at Gamescom. I will put a link top right of your screen. I did quite an open interview with him, which was absolutely lovely. Very nice man. I love all the team in Discord. Michael in particular is very active in Discord, taking all the positives, the negatives, taking on board constructive criticism, and being really honest as well. It's only a small team. There's only about 20 people, so expectations have to be set accordingly. But it's really, really important to have a development team that want to listen to you. It's all right just giving a reply, oh yeah, we'll put this on the list, but they really do seem to genuinely care about getting everything in that people want and being quite honest about what they can include and what's on the back burner. So I really like the team. Now, moving on to the negatives, and a lot of these negatives are based on what I played in a playtest. Now, a playtest, by its very nature, is already outdated. Theoretically, they're already working on newer versions. So you have to put forward that this is based on the playtest and not necessarily the final version, although saying that, it is only 15 days away from release. The biggest problem I personally had was with AI. Now, I don't mind unintelligent AI. You know, yesterday's stream, we just stopped in the middle of the road and we was messing about with the trailer and the AI were just queuing up behind me. I don't mind that. That's fine. You know, we're not really going to be just stopping in the middle of the road very often. So I'm happy with that. I don't need them to necessarily have the artificial intelligence to start going round you. I'm not looking for that. I'm quite happy with that. A lot of the time, the AI is just there for decoration. We're not going to be crashing into them or interacting. They're just there to give us the effect of a busy environment. So that's fine. But there were many intersections and turn-ins that they were just pointing at each other and they were stacking up behind there, and it just looked very, very confusing. There needs to be obviously better AI or a system from other games where if they do get stuck after about 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds, they do disappear. Not very immersive, I know, but it's better than just having AI pointing at each other, not knowing which way to go. Now, the developer did come into the stream and was like, oh, you've chosen all the wrong roads to go down to meet this sort of badly programmed AI, but apparently they do know about it and it is on the fix list. But as I say, with only 15 days to go, the AI is going to be quite heavily judged, and I'm just worried that the AI isn't intelligent enough to just not crash into each other, and that worries me because you're going to get lots of clips on Twitter. Oh, look at this! Look, this is terrible. And I don't want the AI to spoil the overall feel of the game. Really, the AI is just there, like I say, for decoration. It doesn't really need to do much. You don't need to interact with it. It just needs to go past and give you that immersion, that impression that, you know, there's a living world out there. So I am a little bit concerned with the AI. The next negative, and it is a bit of a personal negative, and I'm not even sure it's 100% negative, and that's the survival aspect of you as a player. The survival aspect of the truck with the fluids, the fuses, and the chain tires, I love that. That's perfect. But you as a player, I'm just not sure it's flushed out enough, and I think that gameplay mechanic can easily be overcome just by stocking up on food. I don't think it's flushed out enough. There should be elements in the game where it's deliberately programmed that there's not going to be a shop or there's not going to be food. You are going to run out. You are going to have to look for alternatives. But I think it's just a case of, look, if you stock up on enough food, you will always have food there. All you have to do every time your little apple icon goes down is just go to the cupboard, eat, and that's you done for another 20 minutes or half hour. I would like it, if it is going to stay in the game, which clearly is, for it to be fully flushed out and to be a real gameplay element. But that is just a personal gripe more than anything, less a negative. The next one is not so much a negative, it's an observation, and an observation that I know players will make once they get their hands on this game, and that is the map size. The map isn't very big. It probably, from the designer's point of view, feels really big. I mean, there's a lot going on in the map, and I quite like the way that they've done it as a sort of circumference of the area. You can't just dart across from one side to the other. You are going to have to go round, but going round means that there's really only one way in and one way out. So people like to play these games for hours on end, so it's not going to be very long before you're like, okay, I've been down this road before. And games like this live and die on their map, and they're almost a victim of their own success. Even if in the future a DLC map comes, be that free or paid for, even when that's landed, people are already going to be, can we have more roads? Can we have more maps? I want more roads. I want you to go up into the mountains there. One thing I would really like is more routes to the same drop off. So that might be a more dangerous route, you know, because this is a game bit like Ice Road Truckers. It's you and your truck out there, isn't it? So I'd really like to be able to choose a few alternatives. Do you want to go the easy route or do you want to go the quick route? But it's quite risky. But I think overall, people are going to come up with the sort of the opinion that this map isn't big enough, and that is a bit of a shame. Now, I spoke earlier about the positives of the graphics, and it clearly looks really nice, but in its current state anyway, on the playtest, you do need brute force to make it look like I'm showing here. I've got a 3080, decent processor, 64 gig of RAM, not the best machine, but a fairly high-spec machine, and this setting that I'm using to stream the game is on 4K Epic, DLSS is on quality, so basically this is the best the game could possibly look. And there's still a sort of low quality look to the textures, and if you put this down to 1080p high or even on Epic, it really does have a lower quality look. There's quite a bit of pop in the faster you go in the truck, which I'm sure will be sorted. This is a playtest after all. But my worry here, my concern here, is how it's going to port over to the console. The console isn't going to have the same power as my PC, so what's it going to look like on PlayStation 5 and Xbox? That I'm genuinely concerned about. So how do I think this game will fare on console? Well, there's nothing like it on console, and if they make the right steps to improve the right negatives in this game, I'm not just talking about my negatives, but if they fix what needs to be fixed in the game before the PlayStation and Xbox release, this could be absolutely huge for console gaming. It's got elements that even, like I say, American Truck and Euro Truck haven't got. My interest in this game is from a console point of view. Really are crying out for a decent trucking game. This has got all the elements that they actually want. I just hope that the improvements are made and the steps are made forward to give this game to the console players in the condition it deserves to be in. I think overall the problem here is that the playtest, not the demo, but the playtest has come a little bit late in the development cycle. I think this playtest should have come before to get these things flushed out, to get these opinions, not necessarily mine, but everyone in Discord, everyone else that is doing the playtest, to get those opinions and have time to implement them in the game. I think given the size of the team and the quality of the team, this is my opinion, but if they can't put those fixes in the next 15 days ready for release, I would love it if they made the decision just to postpone it by about a month. Imagine another month of pure development and focus on fixing these issues like the AI and stuff like that in the game. I think it will release it in a much better condition, and overall for the life of the game will be for the best. But I'm sure the team will get everything done, and I'm sure they're going to keep us up to date as well. And there's more playtests coming as well, which I will be showing here on the channel. It's also my opinion that I don't think we'll see this on console until middle part of next year. I still think that obviously once released on the PC, they're going to have a whole new load of issues that maybe will get picked up by players playing the game much longer, because obviously the playtest is only at the start of the game. So I think they'll have issues to fix there, and obviously getting optimization and everything working on the console. I genuinely don't think we'll see this before the middle part of next year. But that is everyone. I would love to know in the comments section below, do you agree with my negatives and positives? Do you want to let me know your negatives and positives and your thoughts in the comments section below? You know, when I make these videos, I love to then head down into the comments section and have a conversation there. But that is it, everyone. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.